Welcome to part 24, and welcome to the Forest Temple. And right off the bat, we are faced with a pair of wolfos. And they're not that bad, folks. Again, remember to strike them in the back as soon as they try and swipe at you, and then their backs are turned. So yeah. And of course, you gotta make sure you have your shield up before they strike, or else, yeah, they'll take a quarter heart off you. So yeah. And that's it for them. So yeah, welcome to the Forest Temple. This temple is bigger, a little more harder, because this is the first dungeon as Adult Link. And it introduces new concepts such as harder puzzles and something called small keys and big keys. And while keys have appeared in past Zelda games, this is the first time they've appeared in a 3D setting. But before we get our first key, kill the gold Skulltula and collect its token. Yeah, I could have used the hook shot to grab the token, but, yeah. Anyway, as you can see, the Forest Temple is this overgrown mansion that has a bunch of shrubbery. It looks like it hasn't been used in years. And it's kind of, well, kind of spooky when you think about it. So yeah, just go across these trees, and you can actually hook shot the chest right here, because the chest is made of wood, and hook shots can hook onto most wooden things. And we have our first small key. Now the small key will open locked doors that we will encounter in this dungeon, and when I mean by locked doors, I mean the doors will have chains with a lock in front of them, and we cannot proceed without keys. So yeah. Oh, and this big Skulltula right here, in the past you have to wait for him to turn around. With the hookshot though, you can just aim for his skull face and he dies instantly. Yay. Now going through this door, we will enter the main room, and we are introduced to the Pose Sisters. Now each one of these Pose Sisters will steal a flame from these torches. And by stealing the flame from these torches, it will cause the elevator to sink down into the floor, and the Pose Sisters will run off in different directions. So our main goal in this temple is to find the Pose Sisters, kill them, and we will retrieve the flames to reactivate the elevator. And yeah. So what you want to do here is go straight across this path and go up these stairs towards this door. Now on the right there is another gold Skulltula, so you might as well kill it and collect its token as well. All right. Now when we go through this door, we will encounter a new enemy, or, well, not exactly new, because it's been in 2D games before. This is the blue bubble. Now, he's pretty easy. When he sees you, he will come towards you. Just put up your shield, and it will bounce off it, and that'll dispel that blue flame around it. And once he's bouncing around, you can just sword swipe it and kill it. So, yeah. And when we enter this door, it will seal itself, and we are introduced to Stalfos. Yeah, Stalfos. You know those enemies that the creepy Kokiri kid mentioned? What would happen to adults if they stay in the Lost Woods? Yeah, these are it. And Stalfos have appeared in past Zelda games. They've been around since the first Zelda game. Now, in Ocarina of Time, they have swords and shields just like Link. And just like Link, they can attack you with their swords with sword swipes, and also just like Link, they also have jump attacks, which will deal 2 hearts worth of damage. So you gotta be careful. The goal to these guys is just wait for an opening after they attack and quickly strike back, and make sure you keep your shield up at all times, and eventually you will kill them. Now, when there are 2 Stalfos at a time, make sure you immediately Z-target one of them, and the second one will leave you alone. So that's always nice. Now the 3DS version of this game it pretty much changed it so that the second style foes, while you Z-target the first one, it will occasionally attack you, but not as often as it would if you have not Z-target the things in the first place, so yeah. Anyway, once we kill both of them, the door will unseal itself, and we will get a small treasure chest, which will contain another small key. So yeah, we are collecting small keys out the wazoo. So yeah, this is not the kids' dungeon anymore, folks. This is... the kid gloves have literally come off. Alright, go in this bottle for a heart, and the second pot here will contain a fairy. Recommend you use it to heal yourself if you do not have an empty bottle to capture it in. I mean, yeah. Alright, and we go back, and when we go back in this corridor here, the blue bubble will respawn. So we're gonna have to kill it again, or if you can, ignore it so you can go through that door. You can use the hook shot here to actually stun the blue bubble, and you can kill it, but sometimes with it bouncing around everywhere, it's hard to get a good lock on this thing. Alright. Back in the main room here, go down the stairs and take a right through this tunnel right here, and you'll see a time block. So, pull out the ocarina and play the Song of Time to get rid of it. Alright. With the door unsealed, unblocked, go through it, and we will be in one of the two courtyards of this stage. Now, there's a big Deku Baba here. Be careful. You can stun it and then stab it. Or if you want to go ahead and ignore it altogether, that works too. And there's also an Octorok in the area. Again, you can either kill it or ignore its rocks that shoots out. So yeah. Anyway, where we want to go now is you want to go towards where the vines are along the wall, and there are skull wall tolas that are infesting these walls. Now, we can use the hook shot to kill two of them. However, the third one is out of reach of the hook shot, and we have no other weapons to properly kill the third one. So, when we start climbing, we will be at risk of being bumped off by the third one. So, I recommend you start climbing and make sure you are as far away as you can from the spider, because, as you see in a moment, when it turns purple, it has spotted you and will come to ram you. But thankfully, you should make it up here before that happens. And here, we will encounter another blue bubble. Just kill it like the others. And by killing it, the doors will unseal. And we get the big treasure chest that contains the dungeon map. And like before, the dungeon map will allow us to see what rooms we've been in and what rooms are in this temple altogether. So yeah. And of course, as always, it will pretty much reveal blah 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 dungeon map. You know, we should know this already, but again, the game constantly reminds you about, oh, blue areas are areas you've previously been in. The flashing ones are your current location. La la la. Alright. So anyway, after getting the dungeon map, continue onward through this door. And we are in the second courtyard. And we finally have a normal-sized Deku Baba. I miss these guys. Anyway, there's a Skull Wall Tola to the left here on the vines. Now, it's not required that you kill it, but I'm going to do it anyway because that sound is so annoying. And see this target here? That's a hookshot target. Just hookshot onto it and it'll pull you to this area right here where we must step on this red switch to drain a well. Alright? And after the well has been drained, we're going to have to jump off into the courtyard area where there is, again, an Octorok and a big Deku Baba. So you want to kill them if you like. In fact, I am going to kill these things, because what I'm going to do in a bit, I don't want the distraction at all. Alright, now that these guys are dead, here's what I'm going to do. There's a treasure chest on this island, and I'm going to hookshot onto this treasure chest because it'll get me in the proper position to nab myself another gold Skulltula. So yeah. Oh, and Navi hovering over that area and turning green. That is a Scarecrow spot where Pierre can appear if we play the Scarecrow song, but there's nothing of value over here, so don't do it. Anyway, this chest here, by the way, contains a recovery heart, so luckily I need it because I took damage. All right, after getting what we needed, just go towards the now empty well and go down the ladder. And by going down the ladder, we will enter the Forest Temple's sewer system. Yeah, the Forest Temple has a sewer system. Does this mean that there are bathrooms in this place? I mean, toiletries and all that? I'm not going to comment. Anyway, going through this sewage system, there are recovery hearts, and there's a chest here that contains our third small key of the dungeon. So yeah, we are really stacking them up, but don't worry, we are going to start using them in a moment. So when you climb this vine right here, you will be back in the first courtyard area, and there you just head back through the door back to the main room. I mean, you don't even have to take care of these enemies. You can just run away and ignore them altogether. Alright. Alright. Now that we're back in the main room, we're now going to start using those small keys. From this pathway, climb up here and go up the stairs and use your first small key to open this locked door. And as you can see here, this door has chains all across it with a lock in the middle. And by using one of those keys, we will unseal said lock. Again, there's another big Skulltula. Dead. Not so scary now, aren't you? Aren't you? Ha! Alright. First, kill the blue bubble in here. And as you can see here, the hook shot pretty much stuns it, and we can kill it, no problem. Now here we are introduced to a block puzzle room. Now, with this block puzzle, we're going to have to move some blocks so they will act as stepping stones for us to climb upwards to the upper area of this room. And then, of course, as you can see here, there are arrows painted on the floor, and Navi will point it out. Thank you very much. Anyway, what you want to do here is use this big block here, grab it and pull and push it so that you can get out in a certain position, and make sure you follow the path of the blocks. Now, for this bluish green block, you want to go around and go behind it so that you can start pushing it outwards. And you can push it out just enough so that you can squeeze through on the other side. And then when you finally squeeze through, just go around, push it so that you can get this big block through the corridor, and push it till you cannot push it anymore. Yeah. These blocks are huge. Seriously. I mean, how can adult Link... I mean, he's adult anyway. I mean, he's supposed to be stronger than his younger self, but still, these blocks are too big for him. I mean, he should not be able to push it by his strength alone. Now, granted, later on in the game, we will encounter blocks that Link cannot push without the help of a certain item. So, at least the game adds that into the mix. So yeah, once we push the block as far as we can push it, go back around and push it this way until it falls into that little groove, and then we can use it to climb up to the next level. Alright. And now, when we get up here, we will encounter another block pushing puzzle. This one is this brownish red block. And again, we have to maneuver it according to the arrows. So you can either pull it out as far as you can pull it here, or there is a ladder that was uncovered when we pushed the greenish blue block. We can use that to get up to this area and use it to push the reddish block to as far as it can go on the wall. And then we can push it the rest of the way back down into that groove, and we can continue climbing. So yeah. I also want to comment on this music. I mean, the music really sets the atmosphere because it feels like it's all spooky. It gives it this haunted house kind of feeling. Well, because, well, essentially, the Forest Temple is a haunted house. I mean, there are ghosts everywhere. There are skeletons. I mean, it's creepy, but not too creepy. Well, I mean, it does give this nice creepy vibe that, like, something is watching you, all that stuff. So, yeah. And temples later on, there are temples that are worse than that in the creep factor. There are worse temples that are have that spooky factor in it that's even greater than this one. So yeah. Anyway, I just thought that the music really sets the atmosphere, and in fact, I like all the Zelda tunes in this game. In fact, I like all the Zelda tunes in all the Zelda games. Well, most of the tunes anyway. Alright, now that we have the block in the groove, we can climb upwards and make sure you do not go that way or you'll fall down. Alright, when we get up this ladder, we will encounter 2 blue bubbles. Again, same routine as before. Make sure you dispel their blue flame and kill them when they're bouncing around. And try and use the hook shot to get rid of it, to stun it. And again, the bouncing makes it difficult. Later on, when I encounter these things, I just switch to the Deku Nuts because they seem to work better. The reason I was trying to use the hook shot is because I want to save on ammo and stuff. I don't want to waste ammo. So yeah. Anyway, there's an eye switch that is above this locked door right here, and for the moment, we cannot do anything about it. So anyway, just use the key on this locked door. And yeah. Yeah, Nabby, I know. I know it's twisted. Thank you. So yeah, this corridor is all weird and twisted. I mean, who's the architect behind the Forest Temple in the first place? It's all weird. And of course, Nabby here will warn you about creatures that will hang from the ceiling. Now, these enemies have been encountered in a previous Zelda game before, but I will explain more when I get to it. Anyway, in this room, we see a painting of one of the Pose sisters. And whenever we get close to it, she moves to another painting. So yeah, we found one of the Pose sisters. However, we cannot do anything about it yet. So anyway, go into this room and we will encounter a Stalfos. Now, despite the Stalfos' ability here to walk across the gap, we cannot do so. So yeah, when you fight this guy, you want to be careful not to fall down, because that'd be bad. We have to do some backtracking and all that. Anyway, again, the Stalfos is exactly the same as the other one. Just make sure you attack when he attacks, and well, yeah. Make sure you keep your shield up at all times so you don't take damage. And once you defeat the first Stalfos, the hole will be plugged, which is good. However, 2 Stalfos will appear, and that's bad. Now, folks, unlike the previous 2 Stalfos fight, when you beat one of them, its skeletal remains will stay and not burn up. And you have to beat the second one quickly, because if you do not beat the second one quickly, the first one will reassemble himself and start attacking you again. And you do not want that. We do not want this fight to drag on as long as necessary. Of course, it's hard to get an opening with their shields and stuff. and with you pretty much trying to defend yourself and all that. So yeah, people who are not prepared to face these guys in the Forest Temple, sometimes they can die, but again, folks, make sure you bring plenty of health items so you will be able to stay alive. Anyway, by killing the 2 Stalfos, we are awarded with the dungeon's treasure. And the dungeon's treasure is the fairy bow. Yeah, this is pretty much the adult Link's answer to the slingshot. So yeah, now we have a long-range weapon, and all's right in the world. So yeah, go here, slash the pots to recover some health. And which door you want to go through? The one with the red rug, because that's linked back to our first Poe that we've encountered. Yeah, going to the one with the blue rug, that will take us to another Poe, but we're not ready yet. We are not yet ready. Anyway, folks, the first Poe we are going to encounter, her name is Jolie. And Jolie, or Jo, as she is also known, is the second oldest of the Poe sisters. She is named after Jo March, who is the second oldest of the March sisters from the story called Little Women. Look it up online, on Wikipedia and stuff, so yeah. Anyway, the gimmick here is to take the bow and arrow and shoot the painting that contains Jo. Now you want to be careful, because if Jo sees you, she will move to another painting. So we have to make sure to quickly shoot her, and while she's in the painting, and when we do so properly, the painting will burn and disintegrate, forcing her to relocate to one of the 2 remaining paintings. And then we have to shoot the remaining 2 paintings, and once we finally destroy the 2 remaining paintings, she will appear properly and relocate down to the bottom of the stairs. Now, if we follow her and encounter her at the bottom of the stairs, she will attack just like a Poe. She will turn invisible, swing her torch, and try and hit you with it. But you can just raise your shield. And if you Z-target her, she will turn invisible. So yeah. The best way to attack Jo here is to shoot her while you're right here on the stairway. That way you can get a good shot, and you don't have to worry about her attacking you. So yeah. I know it sounds kind of lazy, but it's safe. Trust me, it is very safe. Anyway, after enough shots, Jo will die. And with her death, one of her flame has been released, and we can get a thing of arrows and another small key. And the flame here has been released, so has the flame in the elevator room, and that's fantastic. So yeah. Anyway, we'll continue our exploration in part 25.